Hello and welcome back everyone, or maybe this is your first video, so first time welcome. So in this testing tutorial we are going to discuss about XPath. So you may be thinking what is XPath, or you may be already know. So don't worry, I'm going to explain you what is XPath in a very simple way. I'm not going with the proper definition which are available on the internet. I will just clear your basic concept about XPath. So before going to what is XPath, let's see this example. So in this example what we are seeing, there is one city and there is one courier boy, and this courier boy want to deliver one parcel to the one specific home or to one person. So to deliver that parcel, what he needs an address. Suppose he have only city name, can he deliver the parcel? No. With the city names he will get the million names, means people living in that city. So how he will know that whom he deliver the parcel? So for that he needs an unique address which refers to the only one person. Suppose he gets city name, area name and home name. Still he will get confused because that area have 10 homes with the same name. Still that courier boy will be confused. Now suppose he gets city name, area name, home name with the unique home number, so that he can go to the exact home to deliver that parcel. So this is what he got the exact address of that homes, and now his job is easy to deliver that parcel. So XPath follows the same concept. So XPath is the address of web element. And now what is web element? Everything present on our web page or everything present on our web application. Maybe it is a text box, image, links, simple text, whatever it is. Everything which we can see on web page or web application, every single thing is a web element, and that every web element have is its unique address or unique XPath, so that we can locate that web element uniquely. Now you may be confused, like how web element have address like city name, home name, something else. Like humans have city name, home name and area name or whatever our address is. Web element have their own concept of address. Let's see what it is. So now you know that XPath is a unique address to locate web element. What is web element? Web element, everything present on our screen, means on web page or web application, everything what we see is a web element. Now like we have home number, area name, area pin code, something like that. So XPath follows this. XPath locators: ID, class name, link text, XPath, CSS path. You can learn this concept what is ID and all in. I will share one link. You can go through that link after watching this video. Your all concept will be clear. So just understand that, like we have a home address or home name or phone number, unique something to identify that person's address. XPath have these locators to identify that web element uniquely. So to find the uh, that web element uniquely, we can use id is we can say id is the fastest way to find the unique element, because id is always unique. On one page we can use id only one time for one specific element, but sometimes there are no ids used by developers, so there may be class name, or sometimes there is no class name also present, then we can go with the other locators. So we can follow this XPath locators in sequence, like first id, class name, name. If we can't get anything, then we can create our own XPath. So this video is about to tell you how to create our own XPath to locate that wave element uniquely. Means when we type the XPath, it will refer only to that element, not other anything element. So we'll see how to create dynamic XPath. So now I'm talking about XPath, creating dynamic XPath. But you may be thinking, why we need XPath? Why we need to locate the web elements uniquely? We can just see them, and yeah, this is web element. We can click on them. But we are human. We are very intelligent. We know the web elements uniquely. But suppose I am writing one computer program for automation, which will open that web page automatically and perform some task. Then how my computer program will know that on which element I have to click for login, or for which element I have to enter the password? We need to tell that computer program, yeah, in this area you need to enter username, In this specific area you need to enter password, and on this button you need to click to perform a login action. As a human we know we can perform with our eyes, but as a computer program it needs to understand from where he needs to type and where he needs to click. So that's where XPath is used. XPath tells the computer program of an exact location of that web element and what actions to perform that we are deciding in our program. So enough talking, now let's go to the practice. So we'll see how XPath are used. Hope this video will help you. Just remember, practice makes man perfect, or woman also, anything, but let's practice. Here I have this sample travel website. So for practice we'll use this site to just to identify XPath. So suppose here I want to enter check-in date and check-out date through a automation program. So how to write automation program and how to do automation, that is a later part. First we'll learn to how to find this element uniquely. When I search that specific XPath, it should show only this element, nothing else, only this element. So let's start. So in Chrome browser, you may be thinking why I'm using Chrome browser, because we can use Firefox and use Firebug to find XPath, but some organizations don't support Firefox in their environment. So Chrome is always easy and helpful. So open the Chrome, open any website you want to search for XPath and press F12. And when you press F12, you will get this developer options. So here if you want this on right side or at the bottom of screen, everything prefers something different, but I always prefer it on right side. Okay, so now I want to locate XPath of this check-in. To do that, go to here, click on this arrow, and now whenever I'm moving the arrow, it is going to highlight that web element, you can see. So I want this on check-in. So when I clicked on check-in, you can see something is highlighted here. See, you can see this input. So this is the web element. So I want to copy XPath of this. What I can do, I can just right click, go to copy, and copy XPath. So how I can verify this XPath is correct and it is locating to this only this variable? Just press Ctrl F. You can see this one search box here where we can type our XPath. So whatever XPath I have copied, I am going to paste here and see. And if it is showing 1 of 1, that means your XPath is correct. It is locating only to one element. So you can use this XPath. So now I want to take a XPath of checkout, and here you can see it is using ID, because first preference is goes to ID. If ID is not present for this input, here you can see to develop this check-in text box they have used ID. So it is easy to locate web elements by ID. Now I will go to find XPath of this checkout. Here also you can see it is they have used ID. So instead of right click and copy, I can see I can just go here and I can type ID. So here you can see 1 of 1 means this XPath is unique. It is not locating to any other web element. So suppose I want to now find a XPath of adult. Now if I go to okay, this input box is highlighted here. I will right click, copy XPath. Now you can see it is showing 1 of 1, but when you see this XPath, it is a very big XPath. Okay, and we will avoid this much line of code, or it will work, but sometimes it is slow because it is going to hotel, then it is searching this div from div, and it will take time. This time is very small, means your eyes cannot catch that amount of time, but still computer is taking time to find that XPath. So how you can sort out this? If you go at start of this, it is saying hotels, okay, and it is using ID, and inside of that ID you can see div, all divs are there, and last is input. So instead of this all divs, if you double slash and give div and give input, it is giving you 9 element. Still you want only one element. So you can find what is the unique in this. You can see name is equal to adults, so you can say the div id with hotels, that div id is parent, and search childs of this parent. It is following the parent grandparent hierarchy. So you can see here hotels is a parent, and uh, adults is a child of that. Why I'm saying that? If we go up here, see here, you can see id is equal to hotel, means this div tag is a parent, and this parent have all these childrens. Whatever comes under this, these are the childrens. If I close this, all his childrens are hidden, and whatever is coming here, these are his siblings, means these are siblings, and this div tag is father of this all, or you can say grandfather, and these are all father and uncles. And here if you go, these are the child, and whose child? This id hotel, and these are all child. So inside of this div tag, which is a father, we can say inside of this father I want to search for a child, and with the double slash it will go for all the children of this div tag inside of this div tag. And what we want to find? We want to find input, means input is a child of this div tag. And what is the name of that child? That child name is adults. Okay, now you can see one of one, that means this XPath is unique, and when I press enter, it is highlighting only one web element. So now we know how a child and parent relationship works. You can see here. We will see one more example to get your doubts clear, but I will share you one link. Go to this link after watching this video. I will paste this link in video description also, and they have explained very well, like what is XPath and what is the child, what is the parent, and how you can use all the techniques to find the XPath. So I have learned from this only, but I am explaining in video also. Maybe video will help you, but this link will help you surely. Okay, so I will go to next page, or I will search for a flights. Okay, leave it. We'll go to login page. Will not go to complicated code yet. First you need to understand XPath. So now I want to find the XPath of this email. So you can see spam email. I will right click, copy XPath. Our first preference is copying XPath. If it is not convincing, or it is very big XPath, then we can leave it. Or if it is a short XPath which we can use in our code, then we can use it. Now this is XPath given by the Chrome. How we can create our own XPath for this specific web element? So we'll just click on this, and we'll see his hierarchy, who is his parent and all. So here if you go to input, his type is equal to email, and name is equal to username. Let's try this. what we want to search? We want to search input. Why I'm giving double slash? Double slash means search in whole page. Search in whole page. What search? Search for input in whole page. What type of input? Whose name is username. See, it is a very simple XPath now. You can use this XPath in your code. So always prefer to create this kind of XPath. So if, and sometimes Chrome don't give a XPath uniquely, means sometimes it give XPath which is referring to multiple elements. Suppose I want to take XPath of login button. So here you can give type is equal to submit sub, but it's not input, it's a button. Okay, but now we got 3 outputs. We don't want that, we want only the login button. So what is the unique in login button? It have text login. Okay, so we can say, we can use and text is equal to login. Okay, you know logical and or means if these two conditions are true, then it is going to give us the exact XPath. Or you can use or here, but when you, if you type or, it is going to check only first condition, not second condition. That's why I use and here. So it will give us the XPath of who is satisfying our both condition, whose type is submit and who contains the text login. Okay, you can just use text is equal to login also. Let's see. Yeah, it is also working. So create your own XPath, whatever you think. Yeah, it is referring uniquely, but it is now a normal login format all. But sometime you needs to, sorry, so sometime you needs to go through the tables, and tables have multiple columns and rows, and we want to fetch the data from all the rows and columns. That is the main task of automation testing when we want to perform this automation. This login logout, clicking on login button may be easy sometime because it is a very straightforward, but fetching the data from tables which have same kind of names and all, so that time it gets complicated, and creating XPath for those means if I have a table with 100 rows, am I going to write 100 XPath? Obviously no. I have to write only one XPath which is will give me all 100 rows uniquely. And how to do that, we'll see that. So here I have example of this table on a web page, and my task is get the amount on date. This means I have list of dates, all dates in my Excel sheet or whatever database you are using. I have all the dates, but I don't know this other amount and balance. And what is my task is, I have all dates and I want to find out amount for all these dates. So am I going to write the XPath for every single line of this and tell my program that go to this XPath and take amount, go this XPath, take amount? No, obviously no, that will take like 100 of years. So I need to write only one line of XPath which will give me details of all this. Obviously we are going to loop through it through for loop and all, but it should accept only one XPath, and that is our main task of creating a dynamic XPath. That's where the dynamic XPaths are very important. So here I'm going to press F12 and the magic begins. Now I already said I have list of dates in my Excel sheet and I have to find amounts for all these dates. So how am I going to do that? first I need to find out this table in our web page, where this table is located. Okay, because these all are children of this table. So I will first find that table. Okay, this table here. Okay, and this table have this heading, because if I go through this page have multiple tables, but I want a table who have this heading, transaction journey or whatever it is. So I will take this heading. Now let's observe here what this heading is. H4, and H4 contains this heading, and table is below that, and this both are inside this div tag. So here understand this concept. Div is a father of H4 and table, and H4 and table both are sibling, maybe brother or brother and sister, whatever it is, but table is a parent and H4 and table, these both are siblings to each other. Okay, now I understood that. So first I'm going to find the H4. See, when I'm typing H4 I'm getting 6, means this web page have 6 headings. I want a heading who have text is equal to this text. See, now I am getting only one, but our target is to get this table. So here, who is table? Table is a sibling of this H4. So I will say following sibling. So you can learn these keywords in that Guru 99 link which I shared. Just understand what I am doing here. I want to locate this sibling of this H4. These both are brothers, we'll assume, and following sibling will give me H4 table. Means how many siblings H4 have? Only one, because this two have only 2 children. Okay, then our job is easy here. So following sibling. So just consider or assume this H4 have lots of sibling, or div tag have lots of children, but currently we have only one. But which sibling I want to find? The sibling who is table. Okay, the following sibling table, following sibling of H4. Now if I press enter, see, our table is highlighted, but still our job is not done. What we want to find? We want to find this date. So here, now these all rows are children of this table. Okay, now div is a grandparent, this is a parent, and these are the grandchildren or children of a table. So we want to locate the children, because we know the date only, because we have date in our database or in Excel sheet. We don't know other amount or other columns. So I will go to the date, and how will I will locate the date? I have to find the children of this table, and to find the children we'll give double slash and td. Td is a children. You can see these all are td. So you can see this table have double slash means children. Okay, now this table have 30 children. Okay, it have very much childrens. Now we want only one children, and who have date of this. So let's see, td means child who have text is equal to our date, and this date we okay. Now you can see 1 of 1. When I press enter, it is only locating to this date. Now here see the magic. As I said, I want 2 I want a XPath of all these rows, not just only one, but I have this unique XPath for this first date. So I will save this XPath, and but in my XPath or in my programming, I will pass this date through a variable or through a list of variables who have all the dates. Suppose, and that list contain all the dates one by one. Now just see the magic. And I'm going to change the date here. See, you can see it is highlighting second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Means this one XPath is locating all these rows with just one letter change. Okay, that kind of XPath you need to create in your program. Okay, but our task is to get amount of this date. Now if you see here, I have this date and I want to get this amount. Now tell me, this amount TD, who is this to this date? You can see these are the siblings, and their parent is this TR, their grandparent is TD, and on and above, but we will not go there. We'll just see these are the siblings. So we have this, and what we want the value of his sibling. On we, what number sibling? 1, 2, 3, third number sibling. We want value of third number sibling of this date. So I will just give slash following dash sibling, but we need to give we need to mention name of the sibling, or name of the sibling is TD. These all are TD. So TT. So you can see this date have 4 siblings. You can see count here. Okay, but we want only third sibling, this third sibling. So these are stored as an array. So when I give array of 3 and I press enter, you can see it is highlighting that amount. To check we are correct, just change date here, and if I give 4 here, it should be highlighting this 88. Then only our XPath is correct. Okay, we are going right. When I give 5, if I give 2, okay. So we are able to get the dates of all amount of all the rows with just one XPath, but only one thing we need to change. We need to change the state. Suppose I will copy this. Now here our this date is variable, so I will just delete this, and here if you are using Java or Python, I don't know, but you can add your variable here. Okay, and that variable is list of dates. So list of date means all the dates which we have in Excel sheet. These all dates, and it will go through the all the dates. Means we'll see that programming part later, but now you got to know that how to locate this table and its amount uniquely. Now I want to get amount from this table, and I already have this XPath. So what is the difference here? You can see the heading of this. Let's see if I change heading in my existing XPath, it should be locating amount, like amount this. Okay, and if I press enter, okay, it is locating this categories, because in our about table the amount was at third position. Here third position, or our amount was a third sibling to the date. Here amount is a fourth sibling to the date. So using the same XPath you can just change this. Okay, now it is located. Now if I change the date 3, see here it is locating only in this table, it is not going to about table. That's how create the dynamic XPath, which are very helpful. So you may be getting confused between this following sibling and parent and other keywords. There are a lot of functions. I'm using text, but other than this text there is one method called contains, which is also very helpful method. Once you get to know how to use this text and following sibling or any other keywords, it is very easy. Or contain is my like favorite to use, but unfortunately we haven't used it because we didn't uh, notice. That means our job is done by just text. Contents, when we use, when we only know the part of a text, because text method will check the exact text. Exact means very exact, but contents will check only the part of a text. If that part of a text is contained in any of the web element, it will locate that web element. So choose wisely which method you want to use, contains, text. I will go through again this. Here you can find all the methods. Hope I am clear and I have explained it. And if you still have any doubts, please feel free to comment. I will answer them all, or I will make another video on other keywords of finding the dynamic XPath. But first, let's practice. Then only we'll get idea and get the questions how to use the XPath. So till the next time, see you later. And don't forget to subscribe. Your subscription only give me motivation. If you don't subscribe, then I will not get motivation to create other videos. Or just do comments your doubts so that I can get idea what I need to learn for future videos and all. So sayonara.